Hey, welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox. I've been reading on the internet lately, people talking about the election coming up. An election which, I really don't care about. Do you want evil choice A or evil choice B, whatever, or cruddy choice A, cruddy choice B? Forget it. But that's not what this video is about. I've been reading after the election, when Obama loses, people are saying that they're going to riot, right? Riot in the streets, and people are asking on the internet, are you prepared for the riots? Are you worried about the riots? What steps are you taking to get ready for the riots? Let me say, first of all, I don't think there's going to be any riots. There may be disturbances here and there, little ones, but nothing like people are imagining, like during the 60s or even during the Rodney King riots, right? There's going to be nothing like that happen. But even if there were, and my response on the internet is typically something like, well, living a good ways down a gravel road makes things like riots not that important to me. I'm not really concerned with riots. If there's a riot around here, it will be of the neighbors' cows, a herd of cattle that goes crazy and comes running through the barbed wire fence or something, or maybe my chickens go nuts out in the yard or something. That's the only kind of riot we're going to see out here. So am I personally worried about riots? No, not at all. Not concerned about them. And we're going somewhere with this video. I was talking to somebody recently about this YouTube channel, and I told him, I used to do videos, and I'll do some again. I just got a new camera. But I used to do videos of more of an instructional nature, here's this, here's that, and I'd get a couple comments. But when I do videos like this where I'm just talking to people, I get more comments. And when I talk about moving out of the cities, or, taking personal responsibility, or, Yah forbid I talk about Israel, oh boy, do I get comments. So obviously y'all are interested in that more than, learning how to do stuff. That kind of ties into this too. Sandy, Hurricane Sandy, we're looking at the news in New Jersey and New York, and people are, oh my God, we're starving, you have to come help us. There's people in line for gas, a couple hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, I don't know, lined up to get gasoline for their cars. There's people supposedly eating out of dumpsters, there's people dumping in their hallways. It's descending quickly into chaos. So, I don't feel for those people. I really don't. I've searched my heart. And if, eventually one of you gets electricity and watches this, you'll probably be mad at me. But man, are you kidding me? Have you heard of personal responsibility? The government told everybody for days. Hurricanes don't sneak up on you. Everybody knew for days, hey, this is going to be a bad hurricane. That's what people were saying. It's going to be terrible. It's a confluence of 3 different things all coming together. Leave, flee, get out of the area. And people chose not to. That's cool. You have a choice. As an American, as an adult, you have a choice. I do feel for the kids. I feel for the children. They don't have a choice. But these people who chose not to flee, and that is their right as an American to choose, well, then it's their right as an American to accept the consequences of their choice. It's not the government's job to come rescue you when you make a stupid decision, or when you make a wrong decision. If you decided you wanted to ride out that hurricane, then you think you might have wanted to put some water in your tub, you think you might have wanted to stock up on food so you weren't having to hit a dumpster 2 days later. Come on, you're not hungry 2 days. Well, you may feel hungry, but you're certainly not starving 2 days later. People were lined up for gas the day after the hurricane, waiting hours for gas. You didn't think far enough ahead to fill your tank with gas. The day before the hurricane's supposed to make landfall. I live in Kansas, and I filled my gas tanks the day before the hurricane hit. So, these people are reaping what they sowed. And here's the deal. They live in a city. They live in a city-type environment. Those are bad places to live. You should leave. Every time I tell people get out of the cities, I get whiners. I get people who put comments, well, that's easy for you to say. You're not stuck with debt and a bad job and nothing. Free your mind. If you don't free your mind first, you are going to be stuck right where you are. For everybody who says they can't leave where they are, you're lying to yourself. You have shoes, don't you? point your feet out of the city and start walking. Quite frankly, those people that are in the city right now in New Jersey, New York, wherever, I'm not that familiar with the geography up there, but there's little boroughs and stuff that are worse hit than others. And instead of whining to the cameras, what they ought to do is start walking, probably west. They won't have to go that far before they hit an area that hasn't been devastated, an area that has groceries in the grocery store. And those people who say they can't leave, yeah, you can. Walk. Just start walking. Humans have walked in great masses forever. My people walked for 40 years. So, you can walk. Just get out there and start walking, and you'll get away from your system. Now, guess what? Most people don't have to do that. Most Americans have a car. Most Americans can afford a Greyhound bus ticket to go somewhere. I always said, if something terrible happened in my life, and just, my life crumbles around me, I'd go to Maine, find some fishing village, hire on a boat to be a fisherman or something, and start there. The reason I say that is because it's ridiculous to me to do that, but I could do it. You just have to free your mind. Get out of the cities. If you stay in the cities, you're going to reap what you sowed. I've been telling you, other people have been telling you, get out of the cities. I don't care if that's where your job is. Go get another job. It's easy for you to say. Yeah, well, you're whining. Stop whining. And hey, if you choose to stay in the cities, this Sandy aftermath is just a taste of what's coming. That happened in one geographical area. Picture something happening in several geographical areas at once. There will be absolutely no help coming. So we all make choices in life. I'm not worried about riots. I'm not worried about the aftermath of Sandy and people running all over doing stupid things, because I don't live around a lot of people. I'm moving to a place with even less people eventually. So, guys, personal responsibility. You make choices. You got to live with the choices. I encourage you all, get out of Babylon, flee Babylon, leave the cities, start unplugging from the system. Everybody who's plugged into the system, I need this job to pay my mortgage, to do this, to service my credit card, I use my credit card to... You're stuck in a system. You can get out of that system. You can. People do it every day. I'm doing it. Friends are doing it. Other people are doing it. I'm probably a middle-class American. There's people who have no money that are doing it. There's people that have more money than me that are doing it. You can do it. You just have to decide that you want to do it. And so I encourage you, get out of the cities. Get out of the population areas. Start detaching yourself from the system, from Babylon, because bad times are coming. Hey, move or die. I may see you out there.